Whoever fights monsters must be careful not to become one. And if you look too deeply within yourself, beware. You may uncover forces you never imagined. Nietzsche.
He who fights with monsters should take care not to become a monster. And if you gaze too deeply within yourself, beware. You may discover powers you never imagined. Nietzsche. From woman to woman, these words echo like a silent, urgent, and profound call. Divorce is not an ending, but an uncharted territory where courage, authenticity, and freedom intertwine. It is a path that tests your limits, stirs your fears, and at the same time uncovers an inner strength that often lies hidden. Every tear, every silent night, every choice made in the midst of pain lays the foundation for rebuilding yourself. There are moments when fear feels overwhelming, when loneliness weighs heavier than any happy memory of the past. Yet it is precisely in this uncertain ground that strength awakens. Simone de Beauvoir reminded us that freedom is not granted, it is conquered, and it often rises from the chaos that follows the end of a relationship. You begin to see that every intense emotion, every anxious breath, every pang of anguish is an opportunity for self-discovery. The silence of the nights, once just emptiness, begins to transform into a space for reflection. The heart that once felt crushed by the weight of loss now discovers its own rhythm, a cadence no longer dependent on another's presence. Nietzsche reminds us that facing pain is also the chance to redefine who we are, to uncover that even in the heart of the storm, there is a dormant strength waiting to be awakened. As you read these words, imagine each line as an invisible embrace, a hand holding yours and whispering that there is still so much left to explore. Every step toward rebuilding is a quiet act of courage. Every small decision made in vulnerability is an invisible yet powerful victory. What once seemed desolate begins to unfold as a rare opportunity for rebirth, to realize that true freedom is not outside of you, but within you. And so, even while the pain still lingers, a new awareness emerges. The end of a relationship is not the end of you. It is only the beginning of a journey that, though difficult, promises to uncover hidden strengths and offers the chance to walk with authenticity, courage, and a renewed awareness of your power to reinvent yourself. The intensity of pain is not confined to the heart. It shows itself in the body, in the mind, and in the way you experience each moment. Neuroscience reveals that the female brain processes relational loss in a profound way, activating regions tied to emotion, memory, and learning. Every sleepless night, every sigh of anguish, every feeling of emptiness is, in fact, reshaping you, strengthening circuits of resilience and empathy. Pain, though painful, carries within it the possibility of growth and self-discovery. Nietzsche spoke of the eternal return. To face pain again and again, to reflect on it, and to learn from each experience is what transforms suffering into strength. When you realize that every tear has a purpose, that every fear faced fortifies your identity, you begin to see that pain is not merely a burden but a powerful tool. It reveals who you truly are, regardless of what has been lost or how the world once saw you. Simone de Beauvoir reinforces this vision. Freedom requires responsibility to oneself, and recognizing your own suffering is part of that responsibility. By embracing your emotions, by granting yourself permission to feel without judgment, you uncover your authenticity. Every decision, even the smallest, every step toward rebuilding, activates your inner strength, restores your self-esteem, and opens space for new possibilities. And as you recognize the impact of pain on your body and mind, you begin to understand that this is not an endless cycle of suffering, but a process of transformation. Every tear, every painful memory, every moment of vulnerability is converted into learning, empowerment, and preparation for the turning point ahead. The awareness that pain can be endured and understood allows hidden strengths to rise, slowly emerging, ready to guide you into a new life, more conscious and more free. Even in silence and solitude, there is a growing sense that suffering, though intense, is making room for something greater. The discovery of your strength, the building of your freedom, and the certainty that after pain, transformation is inevitable. As you move through the pain, something begins to change. Every tear shed, every night of silent reflection, every fear confronted slowly transforms into strength. It is as if the fire that once seemed to consume you is, in truth, forging a new version of yourself. Nietzsche reminds us that life is a work of art, shaped moment by moment through courage, and it is in this very process that you begin to recognize the depth of your own resilience. Hope appears in the smallest gestures, almost unnoticed. The smile that returns in the mirror, the sense of freedom in making choices that depend only on you, the joy of realizing that your life no longer has to fit anyone else's expectations. Each small, everyday victory is proof that transformation is possible, and that the strength you thought was far away has always lived within you. Metaphors help to capture this turning point. Imagine yourself as iron being forged in fire. Pressure, heat, and time do not destroy, but instead create strength and form. In the same way, every challenge faced, every sorrow endured, contributes to the making of a woman who is more authentic, more aware, and more empowered. Comfort can also be found in words of faith. I can do all things through him who strengthens me, reminding you that the strength rising within is not only external, but also the inner awakening that pain itself has brought forth. Transformation does not arrive suddenly. It reveals itself gradually, in subtle shifts, in the way you stand, in how you recognize your worth, in the trust you place in your own decisions. What once felt like a final ending becomes a new beginning, and every step toward rebuilding becomes a quiet yet powerful act of courage. And in this process of change, you come to see that pain, far from being your enemy, has become your ally. It created space for hidden strengths to rise, revealing that even after the end of a relationship, life can be rebuilt with freedom, authenticity, and a force you may not have known you carried. With the awareness of your own strength comes the chance to turn insight into concrete action. Every decision, no matter how small, becomes an act of empowerment. In caring for yourself, choosing to prioritize your needs and recognizing your worth, you begin to carve real paths toward rebuilding. Simple habits, devoting time to self-discovery, setting healthy boundaries, and nurturing moments of personal joy, become powerful tools for strengthening your self-esteem and confidence. Nietzsche and Simone de Beauvoir remind us that freedom and authenticity are not gifts, but achievements. Every step you take, every choice made in alignment with your values, expands your emotional independence and reinforces your sense of identity. The pain that once felt paralyzing now serves as a guide, pointing you toward the areas of life that deserve your attention, care, and transformation. In reconnecting with yourself, you also rediscover the value of community. Finding women who share similar experiences creates a space of belonging, understanding, and mutual support. Inspiring words, affirmations of inner strength, and quiet celebrations of small daily victories help solidify this sense of unity. Every story of resilience around you becomes a reminder that strength is not only individual, but also collective, multiplying through sharing and mutual encouragement. Though each woman's path of transformation is unique, they share common principles: self-awareness, courage, authenticity, and practical action. By applying these principles daily, you begin to notice meaningful changes, greater clarity about your priorities, decisions that reflect your true desires, and a sense of freedom that once seemed unreachable. And so, each day lived with intention and purpose builds the bridge between a painful past and the life you want to create. What once was suffering becomes learning. What once was fear transforms into strength. And what once felt like loss reveals itself as the opportunity to become the authentic, resilient, and conscious woman who has always been within you, waiting to emerge. Looking back at the path you've walked, you can see that every challenge, every moment of pain, and every night of uncertainty has shaped you into a stronger, more aware, and freer woman. The experience of divorce, which once seemed devastating, has revealed itself as an opportunity for rediscovery and empowerment, showing that true strength does not come from avoiding pain, but from moving through it with courage and authenticity. Now, you hold practical tools to keep transforming your life. First, value your own company by setting aside time to know yourself, respect yourself, and care for yourself. Second, recognize and celebrate the small victories. For every decision made in alignment with your values strengthens your confidence and freedom. Third, build support networks by connecting with women who share similar experiences, creating a space of understanding and belonging. The freedom you seek is within reach, not as a distant prize, but as the natural result of every conscious action and every choice made in harmony with your authenticity. By living out these principles, each day becomes an opportunity to reaffirm your strength, turn challenges into lessons, and create a life that reflects your true desires and values. And as you move forward, you can already envision the next chapter, inspiring stories, new strategies for empowerment, and lessons that will continue to strengthen your journey. If you feel ready to dive deeper, now is the moment to connect with other women, share your experiences, and draw inspiration from those who also turned pain into strength. Don't wait any longer to act. Every step matters. Every choice builds the life you deserve. Subscribe, share, and be part of this growing network of women who, like you, are discovering the liberating strength of authenticity. Remember, the journey continues, and every moment is an opportunity for transformation.